I love Sean Strickland, and this just might be his most epic rant he's ever done. Now, Sean Strickland, UFC fighter, middleweight champion of the world, for those of you that don't know. Every now and then we do a little bit of MMA content on this channel. He's known for being a little bit controversial, for saying polarizing statements. He always has these press conferences, you'll see right here, where he sits down in front of the media asks him questions, and then he rips into the media, and he's very entertaining. He always goes viral with the stuff he's saying. But today, he went on a rampage that was unlike anything else he's ever done before. And I believe that Sean Strickland is speaking for the majority of people out there who are terrified to say these things in fear that they're going to get cancelled or they're going to lose the job. We're not going to talk much on it first. We're just going to watch it so you guys can see what exactly went down. No faffing in this video, minimal editing. Let's just see what all this big fuss is about. People are calling for Sean Strickland's cancellation. So a reporter asks Sean Strickland a question and Sean responds accordingly. And I want you all to stay for this video because we're going to do a live vote and we're going to see if people agree with Sean or not. We'll tally up the results and I'm probably going to have to censor this heavily. I might have to chop it up a little bit because I don't want the video to be age restricted or demonetized. Otherwise, no one will see this video. Censorship these days. And also, I don't know if you can see, but on his t-shirt it says, "A woman in every kitchen, a gun in every hand, Sean Strickland 2024. That's great. A woman in the kitchen, a gun in the hand. Where's me sandwich? Anyway, let's dive into this interview. Annihilation of this lefty, liberal, progressive, identity politic reporter.
I did want to ask, you're in Toronto. Welcome. Glad to hear it. It's been great.
Are you Canadian?
Of course I am.
Are you part of the fucking opposition? Are you?
I don't know how to phrase that.
You got like fucking. Yeah.
Well, I did want to ask.
Did you vote for Trudeau?
I'm not going to say.
And let me tell you something right now.
Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, he's known for just having like the worst politics. It's all identity politics based, so it's all about virtue signaling and not what's actually best for the greater good of the country, but what looks virtuous and what looks good upon him. And he's one of these who uses pronouns, and that anyone who uses pronouns, get out of here. Not into all that crap. He and she, they're the only two pronouns that exist, always have existed. All this extra crap, you don't need it. I need to tone it down today. I don't want to get me video like nuked. I want as many people to see this as possible. So Sean, rein it in. Let Sean Strickland do the talking for you. I'm passionate about this subject. Go.
If a man says he's not going to say, like if you ask him, motherfucker, did you vote for Biden? He's like, well, I'm not going to say. That's none of your business. He voted for Biden.
Sean,
so hey,
Sean, I'm glad you've had great experiences.
So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. The enemy of Canada.
Sure.
All right.
That's what it's got to be.
And look, to be fair, Sean's not picking on this lad, this fella, whatever, this reporter. He does this with every reporter. He tries to find like something about you, whether it's your haircut or you're too fat, and he'll pick on you a little bit. He's just joking around, but at the same time, there's truth to it. Now listen, it gets heavy.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and some would say...
Let me ask you something. Are you?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse...
Are you? Let me know. Are you gay?
Could I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is a part of. Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son, then he was like, you had a son, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with that.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak man, dude. You're part of the problem. You elected Justin Trudeau. Like, when he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just fucking pathetic. And the fact.
Oh my, Sean is preaching right now. Like, if you have a son who turns out to be, not like you're going to discriminate against them, not like you hate them, going to love them less. No man should really, or even woman, should choose that to be reality, simply because if you want grandkids and if you want your bloodline to continue, unfortunately, if your son is gay, then it stops right there. It's nothing against gay people. You're not going to have grandkids. What Sean Strickland is saying is not controversial at all. It's logic, okay? But it's funny how this stuff will get videos demonetized, will get Sean Strickland cancelled, or get the alphabet people mob coming for him. This is just how the majority of people think.
The fact that you have no fucking backbone,
yes.
and has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go f yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
That really answered the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me. when they know what and will know what they stand for. Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your bullshit you're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the fucking enemy. You want to look at the fucking enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there.
That is so true. You want to see the enemy to the world? It's that mother effer over there. Sean Strickland just said so many facts. I actually completely forgot. It's the UFC this weekend, by the way. I'm so looking forward to this fight. Sean Strickland versus Duplessis. It's going to be an absolute banger. I might do a prediction video on that. But anyway, what he said there about them teaching all this stuff in schools and telling kids who they can sleep with and who they can love, it's absolutely messed up. I've spoke about some of this stuff earlier on last year before I had a big audience. A family member of mine has got kids, and these two kids are like, what are they now? Like 6 years old and 4 years old. Like, so they were in school one day and then they came home and they said to this family member of mine, Mummy, I'm a lesbian. And this family member was like, what you mean you're lesbian? This is a 5-6 year old saying this. Well, I'm a lesbian. My teacher said I can be a lesbian. The family member said, what you mean you're a lesbian? Where did you hear that word? Well, my teacher said, if a girl loves a girl, then that means you're a lesbian. And I love my friend. So now I've got a little girl in my family who's 6 years old, hearing about lesbian and gay couples in school. And this family member of mine went to the school and put in an official complaint. You are polluting the kids. You don't need to know all this stuff. I thought gay meant happy until I was about 15. Like, obviously back in my day there was no internet or anything. You just don't know. Also, what Sean said about it being a mental illness. I remember watching a TV program on the whole trans thing, and I mean, I can't remember exactly what went down. Maybe you guys, if you've seen it, you can connect me in the comments. They had this like school or institute where people who thought they were trans would go to. So they go to this trans institute, and it was something like 99% or 98% of the people who would go into this institute have proper therapy, talk about the feelings a bit more, address the trauma that they've had, address whatever influence they've had in their life that's maybe led them down this path. And it's something like 98% of them ended up either just being straight or gay. And then like 2% of them actually went through with transitioning. Out of 100 people who were trans, only 2 of them actually were trans. And then the other 98 of them turned out they just needed a little bit of therapy, or they were just gay and getting mixed messages and mixed signals and thinking that they were born in a different body. This reporter is exactly what is wrong with the world today. Let me actually show you the guy. Shout out to Red Pill MMA for putting this dude up. This guy, Alexander K. Lee. Look at him. Is that not the face of a beta male? You listen to that voice going,
The trans community,
and you can just picture that face, can't you?
an ally of the community.
And we can see he actually tweeted in October saying, trans women are women. No, they are not. If a man transitions into being a woman, he's a man dressed up as a woman. Even if he chops the pee-pee off, it still doesn't change the biology. Who the hell put this guy in the media room for the UFC? It's fighting. It's brutal. And you've got one of these little snowflake beta males, liberal, lefty, progressive identity politics people trying to push the little agenda. Where's the fight questions? Why are you asking Sean Strickland about something that he said a few years ago? There is got nothing to do with him or the fight, and it's just to do with Sean Strickland's beliefs. But here's the thing, it's not just Sean Strickland's beliefs. I believe it's the majority of our beliefs. So here's a little test that we're going to do, a little bit of a vote, a poll, okay, or a poll, whether you're from America or England. Right, so on my video, although you can't see the dislikes, there's a plugin that you can use on Google Chrome called Return YouTube Dislike. Anyway, this is the easiest way to do a vote right now. If you agree with Sean Strickland, like this video. If you disagree with Sean Strickland, dislike this video, and hopefully we get enough votes so then in tomorrow's video we can take a look and see what the majority of people think. People don't want all this trans crap pushed down the throats. Who's this guy here? Michael Ryan Ruiz, so some sort of radio guy. Let's see what he's got to say about this situation.
That is bull. that we allow that. It's bullshit. And we can't ignore it. And we should. If there isn't going to be a punitive measure, let's move on. Move the
Be a
fuck
big
on.
wimp.
But there can't be a punitive measure, Mike, if the person in charge doesn't feel anything in the way of pressure.
Yeah, Dana White. And that's because Dana White allows the fighters free speech because it's America. Unfortunately, we don't actually have free speech by law here in the UK. This video could get me arrested because I'm agreeing with Sean Strickland. People in the UK have been arrested for Facebook statuses and tweets. People out there getting all sorts done to them. And you've got the police resources being wasted on tweets for beliefs that the majority of us hold. Well, the majority of us strong folk. If you agree with these friggin' libtards, you're a bit of a beta, right? I'm not one of these who goes on about alpha male, beta male, but come on, really, you're a bit of a beta, aren't you? If you'd agree with this sort of stuff. Dislike the video. Sean Strickland's got a big, massive platform. Yes, and it's good. More people at the top need to speak about this stuff and speak out because everyone feels like we can't talk about it. You know, even me just talking about it, I've got a tiny platform compared to Sean Strickland's level. But I guess, you know, me speaking about it, Red Pill MMA speaking about it, MMA Guru speaking about it, I haven't watched this video yet. No, it's good. It hits a lot, millions of impressions, and lets everyone see it and everyone chime in and have a bit of an opinion. Really, it's the minority who are the loudest. The majority are quite quiet. Absolutely amazing by Sean Strickland. I like him even more now. So I'll do a predictions video tomorrow. I'll include the results of today's vote in tomorrow's video. Make sure you subscribe. Once again, if you agree with Sean Strickland and what I'm saying, like the video. If you disagree, dislike the video, and then let's tally it up and finish the discussion tomorrow with the predictions for the UFC event. And also, for anyone who cares, I've got a new hard, aggressive, underground rap song dropping at midnight tonight on all streaming platforms. So you can go on my Spotify from midnight tonight and check it out. If you don't like raw, aggressive hip-hop and you're into the mainstream stuff, don't even bother listening to it. But if you want something to get you psyched up for the gym and get you angry, then go check it out. All the links are in the description. Give us a follow on Spotify. I appreciate you all tuning in, and I'll see you on tomorrow's one. Bye.